Viewers are reporting back on the diaper shortage, and apparently you guys are saying it is a thing. We're going to talk about that, as well as appliances now going into shortage as well. People waiting 3 to 6 weeks for delivery on appliances that they were told are in stock. And this is not limited to just one place. USDA, the branch of the U.S. government focused on feeding people, is cracking down on churches and food pantries because, you know, that's the most important thing we have out there. Too many people helping other people, charging 35% more for food to these food pantries, and demanding income verification and identification for all food donations. Also, we're seeing out there that companies are now finding it harder and harder to source tires for equipment. Let's jump into it, folks. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant, and we go over information you guys provide, as well as what we're finding out there. We do some deep dives into numbers. Today, we're going to be looking more at what's going on broadly, what's happening in a lot of different places that you guys are reporting. Let's start off with the most important thing out there, diaper issues. That's a big deal. If you're having to deal with a poo of any kind, diaper issues are a big deal. Now, some folks out there will be saying, why don't you switch over to cloth diapers? And that's a potentially good suggestion for a lot of folks. We're hearing from a number of folks saying that because of the diaper shortage issues out there, that people are switching over to cloth diapers. That is a money-saving thing to do for sure. So that might be something to look into if you're not already doing that, and if you're having trouble finding diapers. This is from Anonymous Nurse. I always look at the baby section at Aldi in East Central Indiana. It has been wiped out for weeks now. A few of the largest diaper sizes available. Newborn sizes were nearly impossible to find since my grandson was born at the beginning of June. People are reporting that it seems to be just like different sizes. It's not all diapers, it's just certain sizes, which is surprising. We have lower birth rates in the United States, so you think there'd be less kids, less diapers. You'd think that the companies would be able to keep up with demand for that, but apparently they're not able to. Shadow Prepper in Central Arizona says size 6 diapers and pull-ups have been hard to find. All right, moving over to appliances like refrigerators, stoves, these type of things. This is from Brad. Refrigerators still aren't available for weeks in southern Tennessee and northern Mississippi. All store floor models are spoken for, but can't leave the store until replacements are in, and those are weeks out. Also, they're telling you it's a 1-week lead time, but will call you every week saying another week. Some people are waiting 6 weeks later than after they're paying. So friends, do be careful if you're going out to buy any appliances to really confirm when they're going to deliver those things, and not just taking their word on it and staying on them about that. But be aware that if you have an appliance that goes out and you need to replace it, there's being some issues with appliances out there. So this is from Brenda. Mobile County, Alabama, or Mobile, I guess. Our church has had to suspend free food distribution. This is one of the things that's aggravating me right now, but there's some other items in the news out there that's aggravating me slightly more right now. But the idea that the government is interfering with churches giving food to poor people is just like, I don't even have words for it. It's like, our purchase arrangement with Harvest/USDA was changed. And I've actually heard this from other people too. This isn't just this church. So basically, the food pantries can purchase at discounted rates food from the USDA, right? USDA can source that. Because USDA is paying people not to grow food and stuff like that. So they do purchases and stuff like that in order to keep prices up. And then they have this food in stockpile, and then they sell it at discounted rates to food pantries that are distributing it to poor people, right? Previously, people just signed a USDA sheet to basically prove we were giving food to families. The main distribution now requires income verification. And when we say income verification, remember that we're not just talking about income verification. We're talking about Social Security numbers. We're also talking about identification verification. You know, make sure you have that stamp on your right hand or on your forehead. To make sure you can get food, you have to prove your identity. Before, we had these major food pantries and they were working directly for the government, okay, but now they're trying to force all the churches and everyone else distributing food out there to also start verifying identities and to confirm things. Now, I know a number of you are going to be out there saying, and I don't disagree with you, that it's good that way only people in need actually will be getting it. You know, so people who don't really need it won't be able to just show up and just get free food because they're just cheap, you know. Maybe they have plenty of money, they're just being cheap and they just want free food. But friends, the more government sticks their nose into everything, starts saying, no, you already had enough food. And telling churches who they cannot help is just chilling. Also, pickup sites partners like our church saw our cost go up 35% with no canned or frozen meat in the bulk pallets. So they're getting these aggregate pallets which have lowered in quality and gone up in price. This is any churches that are partnering at any level with USDA. And really what we need to do is we need to be going our own way. We need to be staying independent. I know that there's been funds and help available to churches that want to help up to this point from the U.S. government, but now it's just like they're sticking too many demands on all of those, all that help. There's always strings attached, and you got to be careful about that, or else you end up selling your soul in order to save a few bucks. Andrea says, first time just this past week, Meijer in southeast Michigan had no sugar. We went to the western UP to camp, and no sugar at Meijer up there, and very little sugar at Walmart in Marquette. In southeast Michigan, we haven't seen the issues. We haven't been seeing the issue until it was just completely gone. My daughter even checked a couple of other days, and it's still out. No sugar. I'm hearing from some of you guys, no problems on sugar, no problems on sugar. Here in Pittsburgh, haven't seen real issues with sugar, but some of you guys are saying it's just getting wiped out where you are. And you're going to multiple stores and seeing it out. The shortage appears to be real just in certain places. So if you need sugar for stuff, make sure you're stocking up because it could disappear at any time where you are. iCanary says, no hydrogen peroxide in North Alabama at the Walmarts. So hydrogen peroxide was hard to find back during the cough, as well as some other medical things, like alcohol, rubbing alcohol, stuff like that. Just everyone was trying to disinfect everything. Hydrogen peroxide has gone missing in some places around here now. Stranger in town says, I went to my local Lowe's this afternoon in Southern Pines, North Carolina. I detest going on the weekend because the foot traffic is horrendous. Weird place, weird. It was dead, like a ghost town. Even the garden center was like a tomb. Clerks and booths doing nothing. On a Saturday afternoon at a home repair place. That's crazy. This place is a hotbed for building with so much federal money thrown into the area. Maybe interest rates are starting to take effect. We are seeing things slowing down out there. People are making choices on what they're purchasing and what they're not purchasing, and we're seeing foot traffic at retail locations dropping dramatically. Expect that to accelerate significantly as people who haven't paid anything on their student loans for almost 3 years suddenly have to start paying on their student loans again. That's going to suck a whole lot of money out of the market. particularly out of retail stores and everything. This is from Matt. Local grocery store around the corner. If you're buying beef from the butcher section, if your amount goes above $50, you have to pay for all the beef before they hand it over to you. The lack of trust. Our society is devolving, where we used to be trusted for so much. Now everyone's suspicious of each other. Nobody trusts anyone anymore. It's hard. Slow But Sure says, I drove a Mack truck. The company I work for is rationing tires. That's right, we're having trouble sourcing tires. This is in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And from Ellen, Southeast North Carolina, freezer section in Dollar Tree really, really empty in 2 different towns. It's not just isolated incidents, it's now clusters of issues out there. We're seeing more and more issues that you guys are mentioning of seeing Dollar Trees wiped out, even Dollar Generals wiped out. It seems like their distribution networks are starting to fall apart. So if you're depending on those stores, make sure that you have some buffer in your system that you know, get to the store and there's nothing there, that you're either going to be able to go to another store or that you're going to be okay not shopping that week or whenever you are there. This is from Cindy. I live in Western Pennsylvania. No bread at our Walmart. No bread at Somerset, PA Walmart either. So 2 different Walmarts. My niece was just there checking for us. Now, bread is usually made at local bakeries or regional bakeries. So when we hear that impacts me because I'm sort of in the same neighborhood. So that may mean that our local or regional bakery is having issues. But whenever we see bread going out, it's usually just going to impact that region potentially, unless we're seeing real issues with bread flour, which we may be seeing this fall. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says that we're going to be in shortage of bread flour by the end of this year. You know, when the government gives you warnings, you know, as they're out there cheerleading, everything is normal, don't panic, everything's fine, and then suddenly they just kind of slip in there, you know, we might be running out of bread flour by the end of the year. That's when you should just really pay attention. You know, whenever the sunny dayshine person is out there suddenly saying something kind of quite negative, that's when you should realize that maybe things are starting to turn over, because when people that really wouldn't say that kind of stuff and really wouldn't admit those type of things, when they have to admit it, it tells you something. Michael says, I just watched a vlog on YouTube. Shipping boxes being sent back to the Philippines out of the California ports are 6 weeks sitting in the port waiting for shipment. You know, they can't get on a ship. It normally takes 3 months door to door for shipments to be delivered, but they're just sitting in the port for 6 weeks now. We're having issues, of course, in the Panama Canal. We talked about that before. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of 20-foot equivalent units. So that's basically like the mini containers. So you got the regular size containers, and then if you cut them in half, that's a 20-footer. That's how they kind of measure how much they're actually shipping. We're talking hundreds of thousands of containers are stuck waiting to go through the port, through the Panama Canal, looking at 6 weeks lead time of them sitting, just waiting to go through the Panama Canal. It's crazy. Angela in Calais, Maine, says, rice is starting to go down. Speaking of supply, my Walmart app listed 20-pound jasmine rice as low stock, but I was able to get some. My Shop and Save has gaps in the rice section too. So even in Maine, we're starting to see gaps in rice out there. Please do keep your reports coming, by the way. We do appreciate those, and it's really helpful to other people. If you have information that would be helpful to other people, anything that you're hearing at your workplace, please use the word update in a comment on any one of these videos, and then let us know roughly geographically where you are. If you really want to protect your identity, really need to keep your name off things, you can email me directly at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. This is from Bonnie. BJ's in Flemington, New Jersey. Sign at the checkout saying limits of 3 bags of basmati rice. Note that the signs are at the checkout line, not at where the basmati rice is. There may be signs there too, but more of these rationing signs are showing up. Paula says, I was at Hy-Vee in Newton, Iowa, and also at a Walmart in Windsor Heights, Iowa. Neither one had the Country Crock light, or it's the margarine, right? Country Crock margarine, big tubs. Fairway actually had it a month ago. That's weird that 1 out of 3 stores is carrying it. So we haven't seen too much issues with margarine recently. We had a little bit of a spat a couple months ago, but since then things have standardized or leveled out on margarine, so we shouldn't be seeing issues out there. But if you are seeing issues out there, let us know. I kind of skim over all of your comments too, so even if it doesn't get mentioned in a video, I'm still trying to get a feel for, like, is this just one person or is this multiple people in different places? So please do keep your reports coming in on all of that. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold. They do a fantastic job moving people out of stocks and bonds over to gold, silver, and platinum in their retirement accounts. There's a link right here to get more information from them. They can answer your questions, and they'll send you a packet of free information so that you can think about that. If you want to check out another video on this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.